Alright, hello guys, welcome back to this channel. This is Gagmola speaking. In today's video, I want to teach you how you can avoid paying too much tax, or if possible, paying no tax in 2026. So many people have been reaching out to me trying to understand the current NTA, that is the Nigerian Tax Act, that has been a major talk of the town, and right now we are trying to look for a way to understand the details of this Nigerian Tax Act, and a lot of people are still finding it difficult to understand. In fact, I have had to print this document out trying to study it for a while, but I want to be making series of videos that will help educate people on how to make sure that they can manage their income, have proper record, and then be able to pay tax correctly and all the time, and if possible to avoid paying tax. Don't note that I didn't say to evade payment of tax. Now, evasion of tax is a different terminology from tax avoidance. When you avoid tax, it's a legal way of not paying too many tax by looking at what the provisions of the law is. Why evading of tax is that you're already being caught by the tax already, and you are now trying to not pay the tax. That is, you are evading the tax. So here are some of the tips that you need to take note of. One of the major thing I notice is that you should earn less, right? If it's possible for you to earn less, that means you earn below 800,000 naira annually for you not to pay tax. And I don't know how this is possible, because even sustenance and being able to live in Nigeria would mean that you have to earn more because of the cost of goods and services. So if you spend, depending on the kind of job you do, you must make sure that your boss doesn't pay you more than 60,000 naira or 63,000 naira, or all you need to do is divide 800,000 naira by 12, and then you will know how much you should be earning per month to be able to fall below the tax bracket, right? So if you don't want to pay tax next year, don't earn more than 800,000 naira at the end of the year, so you can be rest assured that you are already part of the vulnerables and you are not going to be paying any tax because you are earning below 800,000. But what about if you cannot do without that? You have to earn more. You have a lot of expenses to carry out. You have a lot of things to do, and you need to earn more money. And don't forget, the more money you earn, the more tax you might have to pay. What are the things you can do? One of the things you can do is that you can inculcate or incorporate family and friends into your business. Now, I will not explain this point right now. I will leave that point because it's the major point, and I want you to consider it in the later part of this video. Other things you can do to reduce or pay low taxes that are deductible, right? So like the NHIS, insurance, NHF contribution, and different other tax reliefs that you can have. So make sure you maximize those particular tax opportunities. Those deductibles, allowable deductibles, will reduce the amount that you'll be paying in tax. That means you can remove those money from your income before you pay tax. Let me give you a proper picture. Let's say for NHIS, you are supposed to pay 20,000 naira. You are allowed, for instance, you are allowed to deduct 20,000 naira from your income before you now calculate what is remaining and pay tax on it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there are some deductibles, and one of the deductibles I can remember now is this. There's a mortgage deductible also. So do a research, and later on in subsequent episode we'll be showing you details of deductibles in the new tax act that has been released, right? So that's one of the ways you can use to reduce or pay no tax at all. The next thing you can do is also use tax exemption investment. Even though this new tax law does not allows you to pay tax on every investment that you have. If you are paying on crypto, if you are doing crypto, if you are buying shares and everything you're doing, you are still going to pay tax. But meanwhile, there's possibly some kind of investment which you need to do a finding on to know those investments and be able to carry out those investments so that you pay little or no tax. Another thing you can do is that you can structure your income through a business. Now, this is one of the most important option for you. Don't let your income come to you into your direct bank account. You must have a business structure, and the reason is because businesses are not even going to be paying the company income tax until they are able to gross about 100 million naira annually before you can say they want to pay tax That's the company income tax, and that means that they have to have sold a lot of things. How many of you are selling a lot of things that you have been able to amount to 100 million naira? So think about it, right? Most small businesses have not been able to, gather that kind of money annually, right? So the best thing to do, you can structure. Some of you are actually doing business. Maybe you're a tailor, or you're a fashion designer, or you're a hairdresser. Don't take it as if this is your personal income. You're earning an income from the business. What you should do is have a structure. In subsequent episode, where we're going to be teaching you how to structure your business, but you can structure your business. Let me just give you a quick hint on how to do that. So that means you have to legally register or incorporate that business. And what I would advise you is not to do it using a business name. Rather, go for a company registration. It might seem as if it is very expensive and that is too much. What you need to do is simple. Register it as a company, limited liability company, and once you do that, you will be able to have the proper structure. That means you have directors, you have shareholders, and you have person with significant control in the business, and then you can now, from this money you are earning in the company, pay yourself salary. And that now directs me back to my first point that I made, telling you that you can pay yourself salary that will be below 800,000 naira annually. So you can earn 60k from your business annually, and that way you can forget about paying any personal income tax. But if you don't have the proper structure for your business, then you have no choice. You will have to pay the tax. Another option you have is to claim advantage of reliefs. So there are some kind of reliefs that are available. The reliefs include rent. I think there's a 20% relief for rent. So I think up to about 500,000 naira for rent, right? So but if you own your house, this is not applicable to you. So those of you that built your house, you cannot remove this particular thing, amount of money from your income. Another thing is to split your income legally, and that's where I'm going to, and that's where I'll be running up this video. Legally splitting your income among family members can give you an advantage, but you can do this and become a victim of the law. What do I mean? You can employ your siblings, your family members into your business. So instead of me paying sending money to one of my siblings doing nothing, I can employ the sibling into my business and then allow that my sibling to, I will not be paying that my sibling a particular amount of salary at the end of the year. But meanwhile, you cannot have someone employed in your company and they are not doing anything, right? You cannot they must have a skill or something they are contributing into the business before you can pay them. In fact, you cannot even pay your wife's salary if she's not contributing anything to the business. So what are the things you can do? You can train your family members, let them be the ones handling your social media, carry out social media management for you, doing your posting. Let them be the one doing your record keeping. Do they have any special skills that they can offer? Graphic design, is there any other, photography, videography, different other skills? Maybe they know how to manage website. So whatever product or whatever skill and that they have can be converted, and then you employ them to your company. You can even do it formally. You have a legal agreement that shows how much they will be earning in the company, right? And then from there you can start paying them salary. So that salary is legally allowed. There's a room for that because they are part of the business, and you have to pay them salary at the end of the month, or depending on whatever agreement that is made. So you must make sure that you structure that business properly, so that splitting of income will be properly done and done legally. Listen to me again. Don't pay anybody, either the member of your family's salary, if they are not contributing to the business. I know that some people will not hear this very well, and that's why I'll say it again. Don't pay anybody's salary if they are not contributing to the business. Anybody that must take out salary from the business must be contributing something, no matter how little it is, to the business, and that something must be justified. You cannot expect somebody to be paying somebody around 500,000 naira for just doing graphic design. It won't make sense to the tax people, right? So you must make sure that whatever you are paying the person must be relatable, that in this industry people earn so amount, and we would see a justification of how much this person is earning with the activity they are carrying out in the business, right? So it's not just about trying to avoid tax, but it's also about doing it properly so that I can reduce the amount of tax you are going to be paying. So in next videos I'll be showing you other ways that you can use to reduce the amount of tax you are paying. If you want to see those videos, make sure you subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up, and make sure you click on the notification bell so I can get notified whenever I will make videos like this. My name is Ezekiel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you and God bless.